you want access to this podcast earlier than any other viewer, consider becoming a channel member. All tiers get access to this podcast earlier than people who are not channel members, and it does help out this channel a lot. So if you do want to get all of the news updates, discussions, and market information for Flesh and Blood before anybody else, please make sure to become a channel member today. This podcast is also sponsored by Fyendal's Collection. Fyendal's Collection is a collection database website dedicated to showing you the market analytics of all things Flesh and Blood. Looking to track an entire master set? Fyendal's Collection has you covered. It's as easy as creating a collection in their collection tab and choosing which set you'd like to see in all of its glory. There's even an option to only add one of each equipment and cold foil, which really excites my set collecting heart. As a free user, you can upload your collection here to have a great look into what you have accomplished so far in Flesh and Blood. But if you wanted to track your collection in the secondary market, becoming a subscriber really ramps up that analytics portion of Fyendal's Collection. For a measly $3 a month, you get to see the gain and loss each of your collections receive, so you can accurately determine the worth of your cardboard, as far as dollars are concerned. Subscribers also get access to the Market Trends and EV Tracking tabs, too. Market Trends is a great way for you to see what's hot in the Flesh and Blood market, and may even give you some insight into what you should pick up for your own collection. The EV Tracker tool is another great example of the data that Fyendal's Collection can provide. Tired of wondering if you're going to get hosed if you buy a booster box or even a case? Well, the EV Tracker is constantly updated to show what your estimated value is on each Flesh and Blood sealed product, which is a great thing for sealed collectors or even people who are just looking to get into the single selling business. Again, all of these tools and more are available to you for just $3 a month. But how about a free month's trial of the site before you settle in? By going to the subscription section and choosing a promo code, you can enter my affiliate code ASHTCG, all capitalized and all one word, and you will get a month of Fyendal's Collection subscription service for free. So if you've been looking for a new card collecting database for your master set collections, or even just some small little collections of your favorite pieces of Flesh and Blood, look no further than Fyendal's Collection. Don't forget to use the promo code ASHTCG when subscribing to receive a free month of service. Thank you so much to Fyendal's Collection for sponsoring this channel, and let's get back to the video. Hey Dragon Folk, how are we all doing? Welcome to episode 2 of our The Common Language podcast, the fantastic way in which I just get to ramble to you guys about cardboard and things like Flesh and Blood, because gosh, I just feel like if I just took those long form content and I just put podcast in the title, it'd work out great. But something that I wanted to go ahead and talk about today. First and foremost, got a haircut, feeling good. Secondly, we have to talk about skirmish season. We have to talk about Blitz. We have to talk about young hero formats, because last time we talked about budget formats and getting into the game from a budget perspective, but this time we got some news over essentially the weekend. I'm currently recording this on Friday, the 12th of July. So if anything else happens over the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, I probably won't have it in the podcast. But Monday, this will release for all of my channel members. And then I'm going to release it on Wednesday for everybody else. I feel like Wednesday is a lot closer of a day than Monday. So you get it a couple days ahead of time. Super great. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, all of you wonderful channel members. But something that I wanted to go ahead and talk about is skirmish season. Skirmish season 9 is coming up. It's the 9th skirmish season. And it's pretty much the most publicity that the Blitz format ever gets in the entirety of the year is in skirmish season. There have been battle hardens that are based around skirmish season, or not based around skirmish, they've been based around Blitz, but we haven't seen a Blitz battle hardened, I think, since like August of last year, according to Fabrary. I could be wrong on that notion, so please correct me if I am incorrect. but that is a long time. Blitz has slowly been faded out from the perspective of a organized play situation for LSS and Flesh and Blood, and have been considered by most, and even by James White in a way, to be casual, a casual way to play the game, right? You're still playing Flesh and Blood in all of its entirety, but it's not the main focus of what they want to put their time towards. This leads to a whole different video that we can talk about. But before we even begin, I wanted to start by doing something that a previous content creator used to do at the beginning of all of their videos. And I'm going to do it at least a couple times throughout this video, but we are going to open up a pack to start because I like supporting my local LGS. They didn't have boxes of stuff available at the time, but they did have loose packs. And I just feel like cracking some. So we have a Dusk Till Dawn pack in front of us. Let me get you some ASMR ripping going on here. So hopefully this does something for you. And I'll go ahead and for audio listeners, if this ever becomes just an audio only kind of podcast, obviously I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what we get. But we'll start it off here. We've got a Spectral Shield, a Light the Way yellow, Break of Dawn red, an Angelic Wrath yellow, a good old Riff Skitter, a Levia token, Putrid Stirrings, we're getting into the rares now, I believe, Beaming Bravado, this is a Rainbow Foil, Beaming Bravado, and then a Grim Feast, and a Scepter of Pain. So, some good stuff in the back there. Those are rares. So, Putrid Stirrings was a common. I don't know why I thought it was anything else. But, yeah, so nothing crazy in this one, but a foil yellow Beaming Bravado is pretty good for Bolton if we end up wanting to make a cool Bolton deck. So we got more of those coming down the line, but I want to talk about Skirmish Season and the prizing that was just announced for Skirmish Season. So obviously, for those of you who don't know, Blitz is a young hero format. So it does not use the adult heroes like Classic Constructed does. It uses young heroes. Young heroes, there are plenty of young heroes that do not have an adult counterpart. So they are only available in young hero formats like Blitz, UPF, sometimes Commoner. And that's kind of how it is. But these formats are also ways to play these heroes in a way that does not directly affect the big daddy of the formats being Classic Constructed. That is why I think a lot of the design space for young heroes can be kind of crazy and wild, because you don't really affect the big thing of the game when you were playing something like this. So with Skirmish Season 9 coming out, we found new information that was just released today, or yesterday, I think, about what the prizes were going to be. So they announced they have participation prizes of Lightning Form and Earth Form in Rainbow Foil Extended Art. These are new cards that I'm sure are going to be released in Rosetta, the next set to come out. And they look very cool. It's a nice little participation prize to get one. So obviously, if you end up getting one or end up getting a playset of all of them, they look very, very cool. I think Lightning Form is my favorite because if that's Aurora on there, it's like an adult form of Aurora. Very cool. But the top four get a Cold Foil Channel Mount Heroic, which is really, really awesome. Channel Mount Heroic was not printed in Cold Foil in Tales of Aria, and as per their reprint policy, you can print things in Cold Foil as prize cards in any event, so long as they had not been printed in Cold Foil inside a booster, right? In the same way as a booster. So if Channel Mount Heroic was printed in Cold Foil in Tales of Aria, this would break their reprint policy, but it does not. So there's that. But the big kahuna here is the first place of any Skirmish Season gets a Cold Foil version of Blaze Firemind. Blaze Firemind, and I mean, I could put stuff up here for if you guys are watching the YouTube channel. Blaze Firemind is a hero that was just recently released and is currently at this moment only available if you end up going to a convention that Flesh and Blood is being premiered at. So you have Gen Con, the UK Games Expo happened where it was released. That was earlier in the month. I think it was actually late June, early July, late June, I think it happened. And Blaze Firemind is a young wizard hero. She became format legal the day of the UK Games Expo, which means that she was able to be played in any young hero format throughout the entirety of the Flesh and Blood space, whether it be at an armory, or it be at a battle hardened, or it be at skirmish. So initially, everybody was going, well, this was going to be a new hero. She's probably going to come out in the next set. She was announced well before Rosetta was announced. So she went, well, there's probably going to be her in the next set. I even said the same thing. I thought she was going to be reprinted in like non-foil in the set, or it's going to be a way that non-foil is going to be available to people before skirmish season happens. That way, everybody who wants to play Blaze can play Blaze in this skirmish season that is coming up. Because it's pretty much the only big organized play event that exists for young heroes, and Blaze is a new young hero, not to mention at the very moment, because these are going to be happening. I believe this is going to be happening sometime around the initial world premiere and also then prior release of Rosetta, which is going to include 2 new wizards in there as well. So then there will be 3 wizards in the format, 4 technically, because I think everybody forgets about the Emperor, but Blaze is the only true wizard in the format as of this very moment. She also is really powerful. I think a lot of people have underestimated her ability to utilize those op tokens, and she does a lot of great things. I've seen Dice Commando do a lot of testing on it. I've seen a lot of players who have been big wizard fans for a while have been hyped about Blaze because she's able to be nearly as powerful as Kano without it being as swingy. So everybody had assumed, hey, hopefully she's going to be available to the masses in some way, whether it be like a buy a box promo at your LGS, or it be something they give out at the skirmish season, because it was announced that you are going to be able to see Blaze at the skirmish season, right? She's going to be there at skirmish season during an interview with James White. And again, I don't want to shit on anybody at LSS. I don't know why they're doing this, but I just want to make sure that I am firmly comfortable with where LSS is right now. This is just a little weird. It's a direction that I wasn't expecting from them, because the only way to get this hero is by going to a convention. And then if you want this hero in a more rare version of itself, you have to win a skirmish. But what this means is that if Blaze is as powerful as people say she is, and even though she got a ban recently, she recently just got, not her specifically, but all wizards are no longer able to use Aether Wildfire or Aether Flare in Blitz. So the wizard power level has been shrunk a little bit, but it's not the amount of arcane damage coming at you is very, very high still, and can still prove to be a bit of an issue. But the problem here lies is that if people who were able to go to these conventions, or who were able to go online and buy a copy of Blaze Firemind for, whatever it's going for, then it ends up being a problem for kind of the rest of the TCG space. Because if Blaze wins any of these skirmishes, because the people who are on Blaze are, really good wizard mains, and they know what they're doing, and they're being very, very powerful. If Blaze wins these skirmishes and then wins a cold foil version of their hero, then they're probably just going to go ahead and sell their rainbow foil, which is totally fine. But then still inherently lies the problem that not everybody has access to Blaze. We had all expected and hoped that LSS would look at this and go, hey, we're going to have this situated and taken care of. Everybody's going to be able to get a Blaze. even if you go to your skirmish and you sign up for your skirmish, you go there, you have your Blaze deck ready, you just don't have the hero, they can hand you a promo for it, a rainbow foil promo for the hero out to everybody at a skirmish. But that does not seem to be the case. It seems that you're going to get extended art versions of cards from Rosetta instead. And the winner is going to get a cold foil version of Blaze. This is oddly, in a way, a little gatekeepy. I understand when it comes to cards like Command and Conquer, or cards that are just like really hard to pull in a set, in like an actual draftable or expansion set. But this is a hero. And when we talk about heroes being exclusive to certain things, their power kind of gets like jostled a little bit, because a lot of people assume that the more expensive a hero is, the more powerful they are, in which case it's not always that way. In most cases it isn't, but even still, it rips the opportunity for new players who might be interested in playing Wizard, or people who have been, maybe they just got in when Kano was getting ready to LL, and now they were ready to play a Wizard again. Now they can't really play a Wizard unless they're wanting to play the Emperor. But they can't play somebody like Blaze. And now you are stuck behind a paywall, essentially, to play Blaze, which is not a feels good for anybody, right, at all. But this is also going into several situations in regards to legendary young heroes. Legendary young heroes, we have things like Shiana and the Emperor, and even now Enigma New Moon, which we'll talk about acquiring her. Shiana was available in Crucible of War as a legendary hero that you could pull. I don't believe her pull rates were very good. Crucible of War was also one of the most underprinted sets in Flesh and Blood history. So the price of a rainbow foil Shiana, the lowest copy, the lowest foiling version you can get her in, is $50. So if you wanted to play Shiana at your local Blitz, or your Blitz, or your skirmish, or any of your armory, your Blitz armories, it's $50 to buy Shiana. Now, has Shiana constantly won skirmishes or battle hardens or any of these things? No. But we just got a lot of specializations in heavy hitters. There's a lot of specializations that came out for Bright Lights, and there were no specializations outside of the expansion slot specializations that came out in Part the Mistveil. So she's always getting new stuff pretty much every set. And I think she does have a pretty strong contention to win a few of these skirmish seasons. But again, that is a $50 paywall that you have to pay through just to play the hero, just to get the hero, let alone all the specializations and everything, right? Then we take a look at the Emperor. The Emperor came out in Dynasty as a legendary hero, and barring its crazy expensive Marvel version of itself, you can play the Emperor, outside of, Blaze, the only other wizard in the format, a warrior wizard. It's a dual class draconic warrior wizard. The Emperor costs $5 to get. And that's just because you had him in several different rarities in Dynasty, and the non-foil version of him, or the rainbow foil version of him, was usually the easiest one to get. So $3.50 is pretty much where you're sitting at. $3.50 to $5 for the Emperor. But then we look at Enigma New Moon. Enigma New Moon is a new card that came out in Part the Mistveil, and this hero is only found in a special gold pack that is in like 1 in every 20 boxes of Part the Mistveil that you find underneath all of your packs. And inside is Enigma New Moon, either in her rainbow foil treatment or a Marvel version of herself. Now, the Marvel version is going for like $4,000 because there's only 100 of them ever in the world. So cut that out of the equation. We're looking at the rainbow foil version, the lowest tier version that she can get as of right now. This hero is $15. Now, do I personally think Enigma New Moon is better than Enigma? No, but this is still a very difficult paywall to just get the hero, let alone any of the cards that you're going to want to play in Enigma New Moon. So I'm not saying that heroes should be free, right? You shouldn't just be getting all your heroes for free, but I think when it comes down to it, they should at least be really easy to access, right? I mean, if you look at Part the Mistveil, you're able to open up a young hero in like nearly every pack where you get a token hero, right? You're gonna walk away if you open up a few packs, or if you just look through somebody else's bulk of Part the Mistveil, you're bound to get a Zen, a New, and an Enigma, and their weapons for nothing, right? Pennies or free. And that is how I firmly believe it should be, at least for even a casual perspective. But if these heroes are going to be put behind a paywall, then it's going to be rough for the Blitz team. It's going to be rough for the skirmish season. Because again, talking about Blaze, you can't even find on TCG Player right now because it's not in the American market. It's only available in UK. So Card Market, I believe, has some, but it's not available out here for sale through TCG Player because there just aren't any on the market. So if Blaze wins any of these skirmish seasons, it is going to be a bit of an issue, because then the Blitz community is going to look at LSS and go, hey, why the hell is it that we can't get the hero that we want to play that is obviously good in the game, but we have to attend a convention in order for this to occur? And now Gen Con is going to be happening before the skirmish season occurs, but that's still not everybody's going to Gen Con. If I wanted to go to a skirmish season out here where I'm at, I can't go to Gen Con. I don't have the money or the time to be able to go to Gen Con. So that means that I would miss out on this hero. I would not be able to procure this hero, and if I wanted to play Blaze, I couldn't. I could not do it. Unless for some reason, right before skirmish season occurs, LSS goes, you can proxy Blaze if you don't have her. But at that point, you're just, putting a Band-Aid on something. So what I also wanted to bring up, but first, we're going to open up another pack, because I wanted to talk about the where we're going to possibly see Blaze in the future. We're opening another Dusk Till Dawn packs and pack ASMR. Oh, this pack ripped so poorly. Oh no. Oh no. That's got to be good luck, right? It opened so poorly. If you guys are watching this, I apologize for that. So, okay. Look at that. We're not starting off with a token, so we're already in a good spot. We have got Glaring Impact, Celestial Reprimand Blue, Blistering Assault Yellow, Soul Butcher. I'm hoping for some good stuff here. Tribute to Demolition Yellow, Rift Skitter Blue, Tribute to the Legion of Doom, a foil Charge of Light Brigade, a Deathly Whale, and another Grim Feast. So another bit of a dull pack, but not the end of the world there. So talking about Blaze in regards to what it is, or where, we're going to be able to find her in the future, because now there is a cold foil version of her and a rainbow foil version, both of them promos. So if she is going to appear in a set, technically, because the cold foil is a prize card and because the rainbow foil is a promo, you can still find her in a set in the future, right? If we ever go back to Volcor, which I'm sure we will, if they print Blaze in that set, then there will be an opportunity for her to have like a Marvel version of herself, or just the non-foil version of herself, and then also the Marvel. So those exist. You have an opportunity to do that, but it's not going to be able, you're not going to be able to get her for this, right? And if Blaze is truly going to be one of the most powerful decks to play in the Blitz season right now for Skirmish, and she wins, I mean, if she ends up getting even like a 10% win rate Like if she wins 10% of the skirmishes, I mean, that's going to look really bad on LSS. It's going to look really bad. And I don't want that to be the case. I don't want to see that happen. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot with this one. Because while the casual scene, the Blitz, the young hero scene, is not their bag, right? It's not what's making them the most money. It's obviously Classic Constructed and the organized play and the attendance and everything. That's what's making them money. But to completely obliterate your young hero format enjoyers by saying the only way for you to play this hero is if you attend our conventions. So you already have to spend money, travel to a convention, unless it's in your backyard. And even then, you got to spend money to enter the convention, and then you got to go to an event in which you go get a blaze, and then you're good to go from there. So it is, it's not great. It's not great. It doesn't feel good. And I definitely wish they would have changed something about it. Making the Cold Foil Blaze a promo that is only available for the winner and in the skirmish season is definitely a big miss. If they gave it out as a Rainbow Foil participation prize and then also made a Cold Foil for the winner, that'd have been fine. But instead, there are going to be people there who are going to be able to play Blaze and have access to Blaze. And there are people there who are just not, because they didn't have the opportunity to go fly to Indianapolis to go to a convention in a random time. And that's a feels bad. That's a feels bad. So I don't quite love it that that's happening, but you know, I think this is just another one of those situations where you have to look at young hero formats, and you know, we the community also need to be speaking up to LSS about this, because the fact, it's great that they're giving out promos, but a promo only hero should either be available non-foil to everybody involved in some way, an easily attainable non-foil version of the card should easily be obtainable to the young hero format enjoyers, or they should be banned in those young hero formats until the hero is released officially in a set, in an official set. Because if it's not, you're now gatekeeping your own community from doing this, and that's just not nice. That's just not nice. So hopefully LSS fixes this. Hopefully we see changes. I mean, skirmish season is still a month and a half away, so we have a while for there to be a change occurring, hopefully. Because if they ban her before the skirmish season, then it's enough for me to go, okay, they put a band-aid on it, they realize what they did, they realize it's not fair to their players, and now they can move on. But if they don't ban it, if they don't ban Blaze, then you're going to see problems. But if Blaze sucks and doesn't win any of these events because there are just more powerful heroes out there in the format, well, then it is what it is, right? At that point, it's, you know, you could still say there's obviously a barrier of entry issue in which people are not able to play the hero they want, but it's not the meta. And so I don't know how many Blazes are winning armories around the world, but if they are, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear from you guys. Love to hear about it. So I would move into our segment for Fyendal's collection. And I probably will. Fyendal's collection is something I quite enjoy, and I wanted to talk about. But I want to go ahead and go over Dynasty, right? I feel like Dynasty is a great set to kind of look at in regards to its price point right now. So for those of you who are looking for an interesting kind of buy scenario, you can always go ahead and check this out. But before we get into there, we are opening one more pack. 3 packs an episode, I'd like to at least hope. I didn't buy a box of Dusk Till Dawn. I actually have a bunch of just different loose packs that I bought from them to clear out some boxes. But this last Dusk Till Dawn pack is going to be the one in which we're going to get something worth something in here, whether I like it or not. So let's go ahead and go there. We got Light the Way again. Celestial Resolve blue. Resounding Courage yellow. Break of Dawn blue. Putrid Stirrings red. Soul Cleaver blue. Battlefield Breaker blue. A Rainbow Foil blue Celestial Reprimand and a Ram Raider. And a Call Down the Lightning. There's a Majestic. So there we go. We got a Call Down the Lightning. A Lexi specialization that is able to be used in Lexi, but also able to be used in Shiana. So don't forget that. But I didn't have this card, so I'm happy I got it. Is it Rainbow Foil too? No. So fun, interesting stuff. There we go. We ended on a good note. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at Dynasty, because I have a master set thing set up here for you guys who are watching this on YouTube. Obviously you can see what I have in front of me, but for those of you who might be listening to an audio only version, I will go ahead and obviously just keep talking about the cards itself and the numbers, right? Just keep this in mind. We are currently recording on the 12th of July in 2024. So if you were listening to this sometime in the future, these numbers are probably going to be different. So just keep it in mind. But Dynasty overall has a pretty high ceiling for things. A lot of Marvels got printed in the set. And then also there is the fabled reprint of Command and Conquer, probably the most expensive card in the set, next to the Marvel version of the Emperor. So when you take a look at everything in here in the master set, we're going to just do everything here we'll just do percentage gain, because why not, right? We'll see where things are going. Several cards in Dynasty have been going up in price because of new heroes that hit the market. Right now we're looking at Wizards and Rune Blades and things like that, and there are cards for Wizards and Rune Blades in this set. But overall, we can talk about the basic level of the adjustments. So Mind Warp is a card that is going up in price. The non-foil version of Mind Warp is a Majestic. It is deal 2 arcane damage to a hero. And then if it deals more than 2 damage to a hero, they shuffle their hand into their deck. Then they draw that many cards -1. This went up to about $2.59 for this Majestic. I have a few of them, which is very, very nice. But the Rainbow Foil goes up a little bit higher. All right, they're sitting at it. I guess we can just look at them directly, right? The Rainbow Foil Crouching Tigers went up in price due to Zen. Swell Tidings went up in price due to, obviously, Wizards becoming a bigger thing. Mind Warp is also a Wizard action, so again, Wizards becoming a big deal. Rainbow Foil Blue Precision Press has been something that Warriors have been using for a while, and the Rainbow Foil just keeps going up in price, it seems. Brainstorm, also another tech that I think people are trying to do with things like Blaze, or they're probably going to try out with Acilio, now that we know what Acilio's weapon is going to look like. Brainstorm seems to be something that people are going to want to try, and that's really nice. Celestial Komodo, this is going up in price because of Enigma New Moon, but also because I think just genuinely it's gone up in price because people had assumed Enigma was going to want to use this and then did not need it at all. Looming Doom has gone up quite a bit. Looming Doom, the Rainbow Foil, has gone up to about $2.50 a market price. Looming Doom is something that is still trying to be figured out. We'll see whether or not any of these Rune Blades enjoy using this, but I guess it all depends on Rune Chant generation and whether or not you can keep this alive. So, a couple different things there. You've got Rainbow Foil Young Arachne, who went up a little bit. Surgical Extraction's been going up because obviously new is very, very powerful in the Classic Constructed meta right now. Yellow Shred Rainbow Foil, oddly enough, going up a lot. $7 for Rainbow Foil Shred. Very interesting. I'm curious who's running Yellow Shred, but I love you. Swell Tidings Rainbow Foil also going up. Amethyst Tiara Marvel, has gone up quite a bit. It's gone up from like 35 when I put it in this list to 45. So gone up quite a bit there. Kind of just a lot of your general things. It's mostly, you see a lot of wizard changes and so on and so forth. But as far as their actual market value, right? The Emperor in Marvel and the Command and Conquer in Marvel are sitting still somewhere around $700, $700+. The Cold Foil Invoke Soraya is also utilized there. Now, I'm not sure whether or not Soraya is something that people are using in Prism right now, but all I know is that her cold foil is her Marvel is very, very pretty, so people like it. Same goes for Crown of Dominion. Crown of Dominion is something that was utilized in Dromai quite a bit, so that's been good. I think there are some Kasai builds that utilize Crown of Dominion. I think even Victor sometimes would rather use Crown of Dominion to get a gold, but we'll see, I guess. All the Marvels just tend to they're doing really, really well. It's like $50 for like any of these Marvels, so it's cheap in retrospect. But if any of these pieces of equipment become super, super, super worth it to a hero, they're going to spike pretty heavily, because this is the only place you're going to find them in these Marvel treatments. And they look great too. So Black Tech Whisper has also gone up, or is still expensive at about $150. $150 for the cold foil, I believe. So I don't believe this is for the rainbow foil. No, the cold foils, well, that doesn't seem right. There's just no way, right? Oh, I see what's happening here. Hold on one sec. For you guys who are listening, I just realized that there is a problem in our midst. Sometimes what will happen is TCG player will upload a card to their database, and they will give it a non-foil version, a rainbow foil version, and a cold foil version, even though there are no non-foil versions of it. So people will then mark up prices to being like, hey, I'm selling this non-foil version for this much, even though it doesn't exist. So be aware of that. Black Tech Whisper is still fairly good. $75 for a cold foil, $50 for the rainbow foil. Black Tech Whisper is only really seeing use in Azuri, Arachne, and sometimes New, but mostly Azuri and Arachne. So if those are your heroes, definitely pick up one of those. The Marvel Crouching Tiger it's gone up, down also because of Zen. But $50, it's not terrible, not a bad one. But again, if you're going to try and get anything out of here, I definitely suggest picking up some of these Marvel equipment pieces. Obviously, the rock is probably going to be really rough to do. I don't expect there's going to be a purely great rock build at any point. But the card does exist, and it does do a thing. And it is, maybe at one point we'll be rock gaming, but right now we are not. Blazing Yoroi, Season Savior, these cards, the cheaper of the Majestics. But you also have like Extended Art Looming Doom, Spirit of Irina's going up in price-ish, simply because of Bolton getting an Armory deck, and people are going to try and play Bolton if that's the case. Leave No Witnesses, still sitting about like $15, $20 for a rainbow foil. So Dynasty's got a lot of value. Overall, from market pricing perspective, the master set of Dynasty is looking to be about $3,600, $3,670 for Dynasty. And that's a lot for a master set, but it is a very pretty master set. A lot of these cards you only really need one of, so not the end of the world. The Construct Nitro Mechanoid you're going to need several of, but other than that, you're going to need them for every other thing here. A lot of these cards are just like Majestics that you only really need one of, or pieces of equipment you only need one of. So it ends up kind of playing itself out, but a lot of it really is just in these two cards. If you take out $725, what is that? $1,450? $1,450 out of $3,670, you're looking at a whopping $2,220. Yeah. $2,220. So this rips out a lot of that cost from this set. So if you can't worry about these two cards, you can't worry about them. I think even Invoke Soraya and Crown of Dominion are way more expensive than they need to be. Construct Mechanoid makes sense to be this expensive because it is a powerful deck in a format right now. Everything else, though, fairly inexpensive for what it's worth. So if you guys are looking to pick up something for Dynasty, certainly go about try doing that. And also, you guys can utilize that code that I said at the beginning of the video, AshTCG, and you can become a subscriber on here for a whopping $3 a month. Your first month is free with that code, and you get to see what your collection is looking like on the open market. So I want to go ahead and end this. I know I said the last one. Obviously, I have a significant problem. I'm going to open up a pack apart the Mistveil this time, though. We were keeping with the Dust Till Dawn, but I'm going to go ahead and open up this part the Mistveil here, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this Blaze thing gets figured out and that people are not washed out of a situation, because I want people to be happy when they play Flesh and Blood, and they don't get to do that if they're gatekept by by just the hero itself. Cards inside the deck being hard to find, that's kind of also a little bit gatekeepy, but the open market has access for those. But the fact that this young hero is only getting printed in there and then not getting printed in anything else is just unfortunate. So you hate to see it, but you always hope for the best for Flesh and Blood. I'm going through this pack right now. We're going through the commons right now, so nothing absolutely amazing. Don't worry about all that. Hopefully I got a Blanche. A Blanche would be pretty sick. So a little Water the Seeds, the Aqua Seeing Shell. Not anything there. A Stir the Pot. Now we're going to get into the stuff here. An Heirloom of Rabbit Hide. An Essence of Ancestry Soul. A Rainbow Foil Sigil of Solitude. Oh, is that a cold foil? I have gotten 3 of these. So we do have a cold foil. That's really, really awesome. The Waves of Aquamarine. I have 3 of these in cold foil. That is crazy to me. But we ended on a cold foil, so we like to see it. But it is still crazy to me that I have so many of these. So if anybody wants a Waves of Aquamarine, maybe we'll give one of these away to somebody, because I just have so many. So yeah, but that's it. That's all I've got for the podcast today. Just kind of want to go over the drama and talk about some stuff there about how we feel about I know a lot of people don't really care about Blitz in young hero formats, which makes me sad because I think they're really, really fun. But even if nobody cares about it, even if like the majority of the Flesh and Blood community does not care about young hero formats are going to want to help, are going to be the way that people get brought into the game and then slowly grow with it. So I would hope to see better support for these young hero formats. And if I tell a new player, hey, this is a wizard, and they go, oh shoot, a wizard, okay, cool, I want to play that hero, and they're like, cool, you missed your boat. You have to wait until they print it in a set now, because she's taking over everything. She's winning armories, she's winning all these other things, and you can't play her because you can't either afford her or you didn't go to those events. So hopefully it gets better. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If this is on audio, I am Ashen Wings TCG. I name myself as Alex, but Ashen Wings TCG is my YouTube handle. That's where I put most of my stuff out. So if you want to go ahead and check out my YouTube channel where I talk about more things and do some gameplay and stuff, that is available there too. But if you're just here for the podcast, you want to hang out here, I may have these things up via audio format at some point on Spotify, iTunes, and all that stuff. That'd be a great way to get them out to people. But regardless, if that's not the case and you're just watching it here on YouTube, thank you so much. Again, you can become a channel member and help support the channel a lot, help keep the lights on here. We have several tiers at which you can join, and every single one of those tiers gets you early access to these podcasts. I'm going to release them on Monday for the channel members, and then release them for everybody else on Wednesday in the middle of the week for them. So that way, if you guys see anything on this open market stuff, you guys see something that I talk about via, maybe I bring up something that's like, oh, this might be a good pickup if you guys are looking to pick something up, you have access to that first. So hopefully that is great for you guys. Again, let me know in the comments down below if there's anything you want to hear as far as topics go. And you also can make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already, and just continue having fun in the Flesh and Blood, right? Continue showing new people the game, continue being positive about Flesh and Blood. And it's also okay to be negative about it, but as long as you're not trying to bash everything in the community, I think we're fine. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you all in our next episode of the Common Language Podcast. Take care. I'll see you then. Nerd out.